Hi guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to take a look at a on-dash recorder that not only will record everything that's surrounding your car, but it's also going to record the passenger that's in your back seat or everything that's going inside of the car. This product is brought to us by Vantrue, and this is the on-dash N2. Let's check it out. So if you're considering your car for use, let's say in an Uber model or Lyft model, you may want to consider having a dash cam. Not only a dash cam that's recording what's happening on the outside of your vehicle, but also a dash cam that's recording what's happening inside. Something that's going to pick up the audio and your passenger. That's where the Vantrue dual dash cam comes from. It's going to be able to pick up what's happening outside in 1080p, but then also record what's happening in your car with full video and audio. So let's see what's in the package and let's see how this unit works. Now inside the box you're going to find your camera, user guide with additional instructional information and safety information, a standard USB cord, a mounting bracket for your windshield, and then a car charger for the dash cam. Now before reviewing the unit, let's take a look at some of the specs here. First of all, you'll see that it's an HD camera, 1080p, 30 frames per second for the front, and in the back you can get a 720p camera, and both going to give you ultra high quality video. You have wide angle views, 170 degrees for the front camera, and the internal camera is going to give you up to 140 degrees. You'll notice that there's two mentions here. We'll see which one is the accurate one, 80 degrees or 140 once we do a recording. HDR capability, which means that you're going to have some really nice both day footage and night. 1.5-inch screen, which is not a big deal to me because you're really not using this to see what's happening. You actually don't want to focus on it because you can get into an accident, but this is only for review purposes, so a small screen is adequate. You have 32 gig of memory, which is good, that you can install a micro SD, and given that it's a 32 gig, you can have a lot of footage on there, and you can also set up a loop so that it never fills the card and always overwrites it with every trip. You do have a high optical performing lens, which is going to have a good aperture, as you can see there, and it has a G sensor. We talked about the seamless recording, auto power and auto on, so as soon as you power on the car, it's going to do it. You have the parking mode, which is a great feature because if it sends any kind of impact, it's going to start recording what's going on around your car. So if you do get hit while the car's parked, you would know. It does have an emergency mode to lock the videos. We talked about the built-in microphone, and it does have an HDMI output, so you can connect it to a TV for review. Now, taking a look at the camera, the first thing you see is that this is the mounting area, and it has some connectors here that go into the base. We'll look at the base in a couple seconds. You then have your LCD. This is that 1.5 LCD. This button right here, you'll be able to use this to take a picture if you wanted to. Like, let's say you have someone who is getting really close or some kind of road rage going on. You want to take a picture of them, their car, their license plate. This is the OK button. You notice that there's all these controls under here. Well, they actually indicate what's happening here in the bottom. So by looking at this, you'll know your power, your forward, your back, and your menu. They're also labeled here as well. You do have, this is the camera that's facing in the back, nothing on this side, and on this side you have your USB charging, your AV out, and then there's also a compartment in here that will store your memory card. We'll kind of pop that open. It's going to be a little hard to do, which is good, but we'll flip that around. So here you can see the HDMI out and the memory card portion there. In the front, you have, this is your IR blaster for improved night vision. What you see here is your lens, and then here is your speaker. There is no other connection here except obviously here you see a little microphone, and that's pretty much it. It's a very compact unit. If you look at it in my hand, it fits in my hand nicely. And again, the goal here is to capture everything that's happening in the front and in the back of the car. Now, the other component I wanted to highlight is the mounting unit. You did notice that there's some contacts here, as we saw in the actual camera, and that's because the power is supplied through this area here. So you supply your micro USB, or in this case standard USB, coming into this port, plugs in, and then this is going to pass power through here to this area, and then it's going to connect to the camera itself. Now mounting the camera is pretty straightforward. All you do is you place it into that slot, push back, and it snaps into place really easily. You push this right here to release it, so if you want to take it out, that's all you do. And again, to slide it in, you just slide it in like that, and it's very easy. And then this is again how it will mount on the windshield. So now the first thing I'm going to do is power it up. I just want to show you how fast this unit starts up, because it's really important for you to turn on the car and go, and you don't want to wait for things to start up. So imagine I'm pressing the power button now, and it's powered up and it's ready to go. That's how fast it is. Now, a couple things that you're going to notice, and I'll put this over here in an angle. You have your front-facing camera. You do have the date and time here. Microphone on, battery, because it does have an onboard battery. And then you have the back camera. You can see my finger here wiggling it so that you can see that. So, and we'll get a little bit closer. You can see it's 1080p as the resolution, and then the actual timing that will take place. It's not recording right now because I don't have an SD card in it. I'm going to put one, and then it will start recording. So looking at the menu, let's go ahead and go into some of the menu settings. We're going to hit OK to look at the recorder. So here in this area, you're going to be able to control the recording mode, and we'll go into it so you can see it. So dual camera or not, which I'm keeping, what the resolution is, and you can adjust that resolution. We're going to leave it at the highest resolution, so hit OK. You can set up loop recording, the parking monitor, and again, that's if there's any kind of movement in the car, it will go off. Your G sensor settings, and that's if you want it at high, medium, or low. HDR settings, mic, the stamp, the date stamp. And what we'll do is we'll just go out one more time so you can see what else is there. And here we have the system setup. We'll go in here, and this is the area where you're going to be able to choose your language settings. If I go OK, let's choose that one more time. Go down to language. These are all the languages that are available. Pretty flexible, I think, in my mind, when it comes to the different languages that you can choose. You have your time setup, car number setup. If you're putting this on a fleet of cars and you want to, just keep this in line with the vehicle that you're running. Auto LCD on or off. Pretty straightforward. Power off delay. Key sound, flicker frequency, the type of TV, format the SD card itself, going to default settings, and then looking at firmware for firmware updates. We will go on to the next menu. So then you have a GPS setup, and pretty much in this area you just have the ability to enable it, configure it, and then set up what the units of speeds are going to be, kilometers per hour or miles. Files would be as we review what's in memory, which we don't have, and that's pretty much it. So pretty straightforward and easy to use. So the next step is let's take it into a car and see how it works. So now for this part of the review, all I've done is I've connected the power cord to that little source that we talked about right there. This twists and then it locks into place. So as you twist it, the suction takes place. And I have it right beneath my rear view mirror because I want to be able to take what's going on behind me. So all I'm going to do now is turn on the car, and let's go ahead and do that. And since it auto powers, you notice we're ready to go. So now you'll notice that the audio source has changed because you're actually hearing what the camera is picking up. You're seeing what it sees as well. So you can see what's inside of the car in the back, you can see what's in front of the car, and you can see how wide the image is. Getting awesome quality both inside and out at all times. All right, so now that we're done with our road trip, let's take a look at what was recorded. What you'll notice is as I went into files and I started looking at things, the image for the front-facing camera is stored separately from the image of the facing camera, which is really neat. So here I have what's happening outside, and here's what I have what's happening inside. The same thing here because I started and stopped. And this would continue to loop and re-record or overwrite if I chose to, or I could have the entire SD card filled. Now the cool thing about that is that if you do have an incident with a passenger or you have an outside incident, you can actually choose which video to provide law enforcement or whoever you have to give that information to. You could also, by selecting each one of the videos, press OK and have it play here on the screen. So this concludes my review of the OnDash N2 from Vantrue. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have some questions, ask below, and as always, don't forget to share and subscribe.